are there any conversations you try to avoid? So where you do have something meaningful, what do you not push ahead with? What do you try and pull back from?
Definitely difficult conversations I struggle with. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people do, but like in particular, difficult conversations with like people I'm almost like closest with. So every time I have a difficult conversation, I really have to psych myself up for it, and I really have to like remind myself why I'm doing this and like the benefit of it. It doesn't come naturally to me, and I think to the detriment of my relationship, because I mean those difficult conversations are they form such a strong bond if you can, once you get through them. But I do struggle, and so I don't know, don't know if you have any tips for how to like approach difficult conversations.
Yeah.
But I everyone, they're difficult for a reason.
I think you're already on the right track when you're saying about, you really have to prepare for them. I don't think difficult conversations should be had in the heat of the moment. I think, when we think about connections and when we think about what we're trying to say to other people, I think there's a couple of things we need to do. I think practice, for as mad as it might sound and as difficult as it will be the first few times you do it, you need to practice it. You need to think about what you want to say, what you're trying to get across, why it's important to say it, and almost say it out loud. Like look at the mirror and say it, or at least just sit in the kitchen with a cuppa and say it out loud to hear what it sounds like. Because I think that fits into the next point, which is the perspective taking. How do you think the other person will feel when they hear this? Or how would you feel when it's been said to you? And I think what's really good about saying it out loud is it gets us to move away from the you did statements into the I feel statements. So if it's yourself and your girlfriend and you're trying to have a difficult conversation with her, you don't want to make it this blame conversation of you did this thing and you did it and because of what you did. And I think when you say it out loud, you can realize that sounds quite, accusatory almost, whereas it's not going to be the most constructive conversation, but you still need to have it. So then it becomes more about, well, I feel this way when this happens. And I think that then becomes more about how you're feeling. And it's easier to continue a conversation when you're talking about how you feel rather than what somebody did. Because what you feel is what you're in control of. Whereas what they did, is well, as I said, it just becomes a blame game. So for me, challenging conversation, practicing them, preparing to have them like you're doing, choosing the right time. I think that sounds really simple, but choosing the right time, like, around the dinner table where your family or all your mates are is not the right time to do it, but maybe having a cup of coffee on a Saturday morning in the local cafe is because, it's a nice location. It's not something that's going to kind of conduce a big blow up argument. It is just going to be, we're somewhere different. Let's have a fresh perspective on something that I'm not feeling particularly good about.